This video, I'm here with my Miami Dolphins 2021 7-round mock draft. I'm going to be giving you guys my ideal draft for the Miami Dolphins. Before I get into it, make sure that you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel because I upload NFL videos and college football videos daily. Also, make sure that you hit the notification icon so you get alerted every time I upload a new video. And share the video on your social media platforms with your friends, family, acquaintances on Twitter, Facebook, whichever social media platform you use, because everybody always asks me, JT, how can I support the channel? The best way to support the channel is by liking the video and sharing the video, because when you share the video, you spread the word of JT Sports. So, for the Miami Dolphins, they exceeded everybody's expectations last year in 2020, and they came really close to making it into the playoffs. So now they're looking for those next couple of playmakers, those 2-3 pieces to not only become a playoff contender, but maybe take that next leap in becoming a Super Bowl contender. So it all starts with the NFL draft. So for Miami, really, they need some help out receiver. Now, Miami doesn't have a terrible group of wide receivers. They just don't really have a lot of wide receivers on their roster that fit to a Tagovailoa skill set. They need some wide receivers who can do damage underneath in the middle of the field. They pretty much have majority of wide receivers like Devonta Parker and Preston Williams who can do a lot of damage outside the numbers and downfield, but they need a wide receiver who can do some damage in the middle of the field as well and keep the chains moving. And I think the perfect guy for that would be Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver Devonta Smith. Now, a lot of people have been going back and forth with me on this pick because a lot of people believe that Jamar Chase is better than Devonta Smith. I've already been arguing with a good amount of people about why I feel like Devonta Smith is the best wide receiver in this draft class. And if you feel like Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver in this draft class, I am not going to disagree with you. I can understand perfectly why. But I think Devonta Smith is a really good fit for the Miami Dolphins. And I can't understand for the life of me why people keep saying that Devonta Smith, we don't know if the traits that Devonta Smith has would translate well into the NFL. I don't know what the hell that means. What do you mean you don't know if Devonta Smith's traits would translate well to the NFL? That makes no sense. The only thing that he struggles to do is consistently beat press, and you can improve that with more repetition and footwork, and on top of that, working on your release. So I don't understand what people mean by traits that don't translate to the NFL, or they don't know if his traits will translate to the NFL. I don't understand that. He's great when it comes to contested catches. He has great body control. He has high IQ. He comes back to the football. He does all of the little things right that you want out of the wide receiver position, and those little things add up. Devonta Smith is technically and fundamentally sound in every aspect of his game. The only thing he needs to do is get stronger, get in the weight room, and work on beating press coverage, and you can improve that with what I mentioned earlier. So I think that Devonta Smith should be going third overall to the Miami Dolphins. I know he had some remarks, him and Jalen Waddle, about who they felt was the best quarterback that they played with. Both of them said Matt Jones, but I don't really think that's that big of an issue like people are making it out to be. I don't think Miami won't draft them because of those statements. You know, I just think that a lot of people in the media are starting to overblown those statements, but I do believe that Devonta Smith going third overall to the Miami Dolphins will be a really good pickup. With their second first-round selection, 18th overall, I have them selecting halfback Najee Harris. Now, Miami looks like they're trying to put full throttle on trying to get a franchise halfback. And if I'm Miami, I heard that Aaron Jones was available and that Miami was going to be able to pay him a good amount. Well, he wants like $14 or $15 million a year. If you're Miami, I wouldn't pay that, especially for a halfback. If you really need a halfback that bad, you can get a halfback like Najee Harris at this point in the draft, because first of all, I don't really think no other halfback is going to go in the first round. It's either going to be Najee Harris or Travis Etienne. If you're Miami, I would choose Najee Harris because I think Najee Harris is just a better overall halfback than what Travis Etienne has, because he's a patient runner. He also is able to do damage out of the backfield. He's also a really good blocker as well. Way better blocker than where a lot of people give him credit for. This dude is just a good all-around halfback. He's my favorite halfback prospect in this year's draft. And I think him going to the Miami Dolphins would be a really good fit. And on top of that, Miami will save a lot of money, because why would you invest so much money in a running back in free agency when you can just draft one to draft? You get what I'm saying? It's just a cheaper option. On top of that, you get a lot of upside with Najee Harris. Then you're going to have that three-head Alabama connection. You're going to have Tua at quarterback. You're going to have Najee Harris lined up behind him. And you're going to have Devonta Smith. And this isn't the only two Alabama players who I have coming off the board. I have a couple of more. So with their second-round selection, 36 overall, I have them selecting defensive lineman Christian Barber from the University of Alabama. Now, he doesn't really have that much experience. He could use way more development. But he's 6'5", 310 pounds. And this dude was a wrecking ball on that defensive line for Alabama last year. He had 8 sacks total and 3 forced fumbles throughout his career. This dude is a powerful power rusher. He's good against the run. But the problem with him is that, he doesn't really have that much experience. And you can improve that with more reps and the more you play. On top of that, his pad level tends to be too high at times. But I think this would be a really good fit, because when he comes into the league, I think he could start out as a situational rusher and improve as he progresses throughout with the Miami Dolphins. I think this is a guy who has a lot of upside. This is a first-round level talent in my opinion, but I just don't think he will get drafted in the first round, and he should be available at this point, because I don't really think that a lot of people are going to be jumping off the bit to get a defensive tackle. So I would be really surprised if Christian Barmore isn't available with the 36th overall selection. I have another Alabama player coming off the board. Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle / offensive guard. Now, Alex Leatherwood, Senior Bowl week, we kind of figured out what he kind of is. He kind of struggled with the speed rushers at the Senior Bowl, so it looks like he's more of an offensive guard, but I would still like to try him at offensive tackle just to see. But if he doesn't work at an offensive tackle, I think he can be a very good offensive guard at the NFL level. Only question about him really is, can he keep up with the edge rushers in the NFL? And if he can't, then you just move in a guard. I think this is a pretty good draft pick. As a matter of fact, I had him mocked as a first rounder for pretty much the duration of the season and duration of the offseason. Senior Bowl week came around, and I just saw some things that was like, okay, I see what everybody's talking about with Alex Leatherwood now, second rounder. But I think he could be a really good pickup for Miami, because if he doesn't work out at offensive tackle, then you can move him inside to the interior at offensive guard. So I think Alex Leatherwood will be a pretty good pickup for the Miami Dolphins with their 50th overall pick in the second round. In the third round, 82nd overall, I have them selected linebacker out of the University of Kentucky, Jamin Davis. I like that name, Jamin Davis, and he looks like he's jamming in this picture right here. He's 6'4", 224 pounds. He is very explosive. He has very good range with his size. 6'4", has a pretty long wingspan, and he has good short area quickness. Now, he's not the best athlete in the world. I think he's a pretty solid athlete. Nothing that's going to wow you out of your shoes or anything like that. But he's pretty good when it comes to moving around the short area of the field. He has good short area quickness. He also takes very good pursuit angles to the ball, and his coverage skills are pretty good as well. Now, the downside is that, he needs a little bit more experience. On top of that, his play recognition is slow, but that should improve over time with the more reps and the more repetition that he gets. I think he probably could be an impact player, maybe, depending on how the offseason goes. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being a day one starter or impact contributor for Miami during his rookie season or wherever he goes. With their fourth round selection, 114th overall, I have them selecting another linebacker Tony Phillips II out of West Virginia University. Now, this guy was a transfer. He transferred to West Virginia. He quickly made an impact. He became their best player on defense pretty much automatically. Now, he's 6'1", 222 pounds. Now, he may be a little bit undersized, or he may not fit, you know, your minimum weight requirements for what you want out of a linebacker, but he fits the prototypical style of linebacker that you want this day and age of the NFL. This day and age of the NFL is all about defending against the pass. It's a passing league, so you want your team to be able to stop the pass. So in doing so, you're probably going to want a faster linebacker that's better in coverage, and when you get a linebacker that's probably faster and better in coverage, sometimes you have to sacrifice size for, you know, athleticism. So when you look at Tony Phillips II, I mean, this guy is extremely quick for a linebacker. He's also really good in coverage with great athleticism, and he has all the traits to be a day one starter for Miami right away. So if you're Miami and you're a Miami Dolphins fan, you're looking for the guy who could replace Kyle Van Noy. I think Tony Phillips II out of West Virginia could be that guy, and he should be available in the 4th round, because I think this kind of is a reach. I think he may be a round 6, round 5 kind of guy, but if you get Tony Phillips, I think you're getting a guy who can come in and start for you day one. Now, with their last selection in the NFL draft, I have them selecting safety Ashari Crosswell out of Arizona State University. Now, Miami doesn't have a 7th round pick, so you pretty much have to get the guy that you want unless you end up trading back in. But when you look at Ashari Crosswell, okay, he barely played in 2020. As a matter of fact, he got beat out for a transfer out of Boise State who took his spot, and he didn't really get that much action some way, somehow. On top of that, he got suspended for contact violations, and he ended up declaring for the NFL draft late in December. But when you watch his first couple of seasons with Arizona, I mean, he was on my radar. A lot of people were really excited to watch him play this year because this guy was a ball hawk before 2020. I mean, this guy was always making plays on the ball, either interceptions, forced fumbles. The biggest concern for him pretty much is, you know, the lack of playing time and also his speed, because he's rumored to run somewhere between a 4.6 and a low 4.5 40. So you kind of don't want that kind of, you know, liability at speed from your safety, the guy who's supposed to be your last line of defense. But I think Ashari Crosswell will fit well, because I feel like Brian Flores can utilize him in a lot of different ways with his playmaking ability and the fact that he has a nose for the football. I don't understand what really happened this season at Arizona State that made things go so left for him, but I think that he does have some NFL quality traits. The fact that he just has a nose for making plays on the ball, I think that makes him pretty draftable in my opinion. So this is it for my 7th round mock draft for the Miami Dolphins. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section down below. Make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe.